Hi everyone, so welcome back. It's Tuesday. I am so glad you're here and participating. This is a really intense time. There's a lot of fear and loneliness and sadness and just a really strong desire for things to get back to normal. So I'm really happy that you're participating in this self-care challenge. And, this is a nice opportunity for us to stay connected and engaged and active during this time. So today I want to talk to you about dharma. So dharma means purpose. And when we are aligned with our purpose, we create a greater sense of meaning and fulfillment in our lives. So I was scrolling across Facebook the other day and I came across a meme with Sir Isaac Newton, and it talked about how he had formulated the law of universal gravitation during the bubonic plague. I looked it up, it's true. So maybe this is our law of gravity time. So if you've been putting off a certain goal for a really long time, maybe this is an opportunity for you to start moving towards it. So creating purpose, creating meaning during this time. So I want you to pull out a piece of paper and a pen, and we're going to just kind of go over a few questions, and maybe we can just kind of pull them all together so that you have a greater picture for how to move towards that goal. So the first question I have for you is, what are you passionate about? What sets your soul on fire? Right? So that could be from anything from health to food to human rights, animal protection, environmental preservation. It could be, a slew of things. So just think about what's really important to you, why it's important, what are you passionate about. Go ahead and write down as much as you like in that list. And then the next question I have for you is, what are your strengths? So what do people tell you that you're really great at or that you're really strong in? Write down as many strengths that you have that you can think of. And then what are your values? What values direct your path? And then I want you to think about what things give you energy. So it could be the things that you do or the things that you're interacting with. So, for example, sometimes people get a lot of energy from being around other people. Some people get more energy from, going out into nature. So what kinds of things give you energy? Maybe working out feels really good and charging for you, right? What kinds of things give you energy? And then what things drain your energy? So that could be, you know, getting too much TV time, being on the computer for too long, right? Maybe, some people don't necessarily feel a lot of energy talking for a long time. So things like that. What kinds of things drain your energy? Okay. So you kind of have a picture about what's important to you, what you're great at. I want you to write down one more thing. I want you to write down, before we get to the goal setting part, is what in your life are you really proud of? So what kinds of things have you succeeded at and you're like, wow, I can't believe I did it. It was really hard and I made it to the other side. I did it. So what kinds of things are you really proud of that you accomplished in your life? Okay. All right. So we have a pretty good picture here. Now, I want you to write down now, what goal do you want to achieve in the next 3 months? In the next 3 months, what goal do you want to achieve? So it could be, it could be health. It could be, um, maybe there's a work project that you've been wanting to do that you've been putting off. And then I want you to write down underneath it, why have you not been able to achieve this goal? So what's been standing in your way, basically? So sometimes people write down there wasn't enough time, or I don't know enough about it, so I'm not going to put much effort into it, or there's not enough money, or whatever it could be. So I just want you to write down those things that have kept you from being able to attain the goal. And then right underneath each of those, I want you to kind of reframe this somehow. So if there's not enough time, I want you to think about when there is maybe a little bit of time, like a little pocket of time that you could start directing your energy towards now. So maybe it's in the evening, maybe it's early in the morning before anyone gets up in your household. So maybe just try to find those little pockets of time there. And maybe if, I don't know enough about it, maybe what you could do is, Google's a wonderful tool. You could Google, right? You could ask an expert in the field, so you could certainly do that. And maybe there's not enough money. Maybe there is a cost alternative, or maybe you have friends and family who would be willing to help. Sometimes when it comes to going back to school, there are Pell Grants and student loans, obviously. So there are alternatives to cost sometimes. So you could certainly take a look into that. And typically when it comes to reasons why we're not doing something, it oftentimes has to do with how much of a priority actually is in your life. Right? Because the things that if you look back at that question, what you're really proud of, those things that you accomplished, nothing stood in your way, right? You made those things happen no matter what. So we want this goal to be something that's a priority at this time so that you take the initiatives and you jump over those limiting beliefs. Okay, so now the very last step is to create an action plan. So, for instance, some people are, wanting to write a book, right? That's something they've been putting off for a really long time. So, I don't know if you can get that done in 3 months, but you can certainly set incremental goals, right? So, in 3 months, maybe you get, 5 chapters written. So, then you would write down the time that you would do these each day and put it in your calendar. There's actually research that shows that when you write it down, you're more likely to achieve the goal. So write it down, put it in your calendar, the day and the time that you're going to be sitting down and working on it. And it's also a good idea if you have someone who can hold you accountable, so you can, check in with a friend and let them know that you accomplished this part of the goal, right? So make sure you write it down in your calendar. This is the day and time that I'm going to work on this. I'm going to start moving towards it. So put that in your calendar. This is all about moving toward dharma, right? So about purpose, about meaning, creating a life that you really desire, that you want to live and be a part in, that's exciting to you, right? So this is a nice opportunity to start moving toward those things. So this is our class for today, just about dharma, about purpose, about meaning, and using this time in a way that can be really fulfilling and uplifting to you. All right, so that's today's class. I'll see you next time.